And then
This is Stemwinder Sculpture Works and Gardens, which is the new name. It's just me, Jay Sawyer, doing business as. This is all pretty recent, within the last 2 or 3 years, 3 or 4 years, and things are going really well. So we've got a great big property out here we're going to head out to in a bit, and I'll show you some of the grounds. And we're right here. We're in the addition to the shop, or rather the studio, which is hard for me to roll off the tongue sometimes, but this addition will be all cement and have some overhead rigging so we can handle some of the bigger spheres right here and not tie up the other end of the shop so much. So we're in Warren, Maine. This is a combination of Maple Street and Route 90. There's a good shot of Samosphere 3, and almost done. Probably another day of welding and adding some elements, and then a day of grinding and cleaning it up so you don't cut yourself when you walk by it. I think I do welded forms. I think is probably the best way, because a lot of the work is inspired by found objects, which kind of determines to a great deal what it's going to be when it ends up. So sometimes they'll just speak to you, or you'll see a combination of pieces that the two go really well together, and so that determines what it is. So because I have such a good resource pile of pieces to pick from demolition jobs and all that sort of thing, then there's my sources. It's like a big palette. And you see the mess on the decks here. We're getting ready. We're rearranging and getting ready for winter and opening up the studio to try to get some bigger pieces done this year. And wait till you see the property. You can't even, the three of them just make a real good package. So we'll head out that way.
Okay.
Here we come across Samosphere 2. And it's incredible how strong these are. This weighs about 150 pounds. And you actually can crawl right inside this and jump all around like a monkey. You can hang off this. And it's just, you wouldn't believe how strong it is. And you can interact with it, which is kind of neat. This is just a rust patina. It wouldn't be a finish unless a customer wanted it. We do have a place I could send this and get it powder coated, and they do some super quality work, but I'm a big fan of just letting it rust and having no maintenance. And if it were powder coated, I don't know if you'd want to be rolling it around your lawn and things like that, or climbing on it. So that's kind of a nice feature if you don't give it a coating. It'd be pretty hard to hurt it. Still going. I guess I better prevent it from going in the pond.
It's a piece in the distance.
That's a piece of a found object there. That came from the Crow Rope building in Warren, Georges River Woolen Mill, and they just demolished that a couple years ago now. And this was some of the material from the penstock that was actually in the river. And that piece weighs about a ton by itself, and it's wrinkled up, and it's just beautiful. And the steel, which is a very old steel, is held up quite well. That's tidal water down there. And one side of that is very finished and just smooth like you'd expect steel to be, and the other side is all textured from rust and corrosion. And it's just kind of funny, the two, how they could be that different. And I'm really not sure if it was the inside or the outside that had the texture to it.
Does that have a name?
That piece doesn't. I think it's going to get worked into a nice little bench. I have an idea to make a cut in the front of it and set a nice stone in there that would work as a seat, and it will work as a little setting area, I think. It doesn't have a title yet. It's just as I found it, and I plan to manipulate it. I'm not 100% sure how, but I do think I'm going to work some stone into it. It's a nice piece. On the back side, it trails off like a wedding gown. It's real cool. Got some real interesting intersections of all the wrinkles and stuff. It actually has a horse head that appears in it. If you look just right, and where the rivets line up, you can almost see like an eye of the horse, and then there's a line of rivets, and they're running right down. It looks like the harness. Actually, somebody else pointed it out to me a year ago, and now I see it every time I look at it. I didn't see it on my own, and a lady pointed it out from a long way away. But you can see some of what I was talking about with the texture. Here's an example here. This is the smooth side, and this on the inside is all very dimpled up. Has a real hammered look to it, like something you would pay a blacksmith big money to do if you like that type of a look. And we've got, a huge surface area of it. So it's just beautiful stock to work with, and all these live edges. I just think that, attractive doesn't even begin to describe that. And there's a good example. You can see the shadows of the texture. And this other edge here with the perforations where the seams had been riveted, I just think they offer so much to work with. There's so much potential. This is like a Rolling Stones tongue hanging out. There's so many. I just love this. The one piece. There's so many beautiful things to look at on this one piece alone. So I felt it was worthy just to lug it down here as you walk by it and pick out different features on it and, enjoy it all. This kind of little rivet hanging here for no reason other than, I don't know, I guess just to satisfy me.